Before that was some fun events. Who wants to recount the telling of the tale?
I lost my desire to recount the telling of the tale.
I'll go for it.
Aw.
Alrighty. So, 2 weeks ago, the Seekers ventured into, or finished preparing and traveled down through the desert, down into a lair, very quietly, until Saradin stepped on a bone and woke the yon blue dragon that was lying in there. The desertized yon blue dragon which burrowed. Due to our preparations, which were thankfully very effective, we took less damage from the lightning breath and managed to, after some narrow escapes and brushes with death, to beat up the dragon into a pulp using our opportunity attacks and barely survive while one of us ran away upon hearing the word retreat.
Run away!
Yep. And then the rest of us finished looting the body and the ground and everything else, which we got a lot of stuff.
And
Then
killed
we,
some randomly summoned wolves. I guess.
yeah, I guess. We just said die, and then they died. Because the DM was nice and didn't want to have us kill poor wolves.
Well, actually, they were neutral.
They were really, really confused.
Y'all? What would you
So
do
yeah,
if you're, an Arctic or forest creature and you just pop up in a desert cave?
well, did they exist before?
That's a good
That's part of
question.
the question. Because if they just appear out of nowhere, then that's even more confusing to them.
The Petunia thought, not again.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's what we spent the last 2 weeks on.
And right there's the bad boy himself that you faced off. However, a little bit smaller than that one. Alright, so we disseminated some of the loot, and there are some choices on that. And what exactly is the current goal you all wish to take?
Well, does Nerso have any spell slots left?
Give me a moment to look.
I believe the answer to that is no, but
I think that's the case, but I want to double check.
Ironically, Baden's almost back up to full because of the 2 men have healing potions.
Well, everything's wanting to open on the wrong screen tonight. Let me see.
Do you want his
I
spell
have
slot for
one
sending?
slot.
basically, I know that Ryan, the player, is not with us, but I would want to, if we had the spell sending available, which I believe Nersil knows, I would want to contact Rio and tell them that the threat is gone and please come back.
Okay.
And we're still alive.
I'm starting to wonder if my sheet saved or not, because I thought I recalled not having that.
It might be Squeaks that has it.
Well, no, I had the spell. I thought you were right that I did spend both spells.
I got a big heal, and I think Saradin got a big heal.
Okay, then yeah, I'd be out of them.
Yeah.
Either way, I think it may not be a bad idea to take a short rest anyway,
Yeah.
just to kind of catch our breath, and then you could cast Sending.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
I'd say almost better send it to Squeaks, tell him to bring the ship to us, and also to tell Ryu that we're safe. Get two with one.
After a short rest, yes, that can be done.
Yeah.
Is that we're safe, and then meet us at the entrance to the cave.
Okay. And that's going to both?
Ideally, it would, if we want to be super like spell efficient for Nursil, we would have Squeaks in that message. But maybe it would be better if Nursil got it. Sent it directly from Nursil, just so. I don't know.
I mean, if we send it to Squeaks, we can get the ship to us instead of traveling another day back
You
or so.
got 2 spell slots, right?
Yeah.
Do you get both back with a short rest?
Yeah.
Yep. That's
Oh,
the perk
cool.
of being a warlock.
Then awesome.
Warlocks are short burn, but easy refresh.
Then yeah, this is the message to both then.
Okay. So after the short rest, that can be done. What would be the choice after that?
Take all the loot back to the ship. Divvy up as we did.
Very good.
And set sail to somewhere.
Well, I would say report back to the prince of our successful mission.
Yeah. So head to the prince, and we still got the other reward for taking care of Hassan from our starting town of Garganov.
Which in that case, we would want to probably set sail for Garganov.
Well, Prince is close, so we can stop by and give him an update, then yeah, set sail for Garganov.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. And of course you said your reward is all the loot unclaimed. Which I have a feeling most of you think that's pretty good loot for what you undertook.
The +2 to stat was
Yeah, it was worth it.
yeah.
He did
This was
say
hard.
risk
And
and
we can-
reward.
And we can go over Baden a little after this, some of our reasoning behind who got what.
I'm fully in agreement with the vast majority. I saw Yanovin's stats as well.
Yeah, it happens.
They used to be worse.
I mean, I love the Tavern Bracers and the Lodestone Tankard as well. Those are totally up our Dwarven Companions aisle.
Yeah.
And then, I was prioritizing the main characters over the alts just because
Oh, yeah.
of the main characters. But
Yep.
but once we get more and more loot, we can spread the wealth out.
And that potion had changed someone into a ferret totally isn't going to one of those tankards for a drinking contest.
Wow.
I was like looking through, I was like, oh, that might be handy for like a mission or something, like, or for a mission. For a mission.
Mission.
Also, I noticed we have a Boots of Elvenkind in the supplies still.
Who would want to be an elf? Jeez.
And a +1 pike. And 60 spears, because why not?
60 spears.
Let's have a cart behind Saradin.
Give everyone a spear on the ship.
And we can use
still
that
have
potion to
plenty.
make 19 arrows to get the experience for killing a. Oh wait,
Hey, 1 XP, I'll take it.
Get the
1% of the way.
0.001 experience for killing a venomous snake that we know's come. Well, anyway.
I think punching a snake to death sounds fun.
You don't want to see the snake that's worth 1 XP now.
Or we just sell the potion to someone and tell them it'll make 20 arrows. Or 19 arrows.
And hope
The
they don't
snake.
identify it.
Yeah.
Cast trend.
Well, we'll just say it makes 19 arrows. That's the truth.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Who wants the unbreakable arrow? How is that?
So we talked about that a little bit. The unbreakable arrow is kind of
Useless?
kind of useless. I figured its best use would be basically to test out the durability of some of Yanovin's inventions. Like, hey, this thing's more durable. All right, we'll fire an arrow at it.
Oh. I would. Let me see. To do.
It's a train arrow. We'll use it to train the crew on land so they don't lose it.
Anyway, it's a nice novelty item, but considering it doesn't seem magical in any other manner other than it won't break, it.
And, if you could get it enchanted with returning, then you'd have an unbreakable.
I know, I was looking for it. Remember that something like that being one of my infusions. I was looking through my infusions.
Either way, I
That
doubt
would be funny. Hit
in
him
that case,
2
it's
times.
probably worth keeping.
Returning weapon. A simple martial weapon with a thrown property. This magic weapon grants +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with it, and returns to the wielder's hand immediately after being used to make a ranged attack.
That's thrown, but I guess you could potentially try to invent an alternate way.
I mean, Cleot could throw it over and over again.
I don't know that Cleoc is proficient in throw arrow.
I mean,
I'm proficient
deflect
in
missiles.
return arrow to sender, not.
Nice. Use arrow to lift broken chair leg.
Even though, to be honest, I consider the whole what is it? The you spending a key point to throw arrows back at would-be attackers is a waste of key points.
Depends on if you can take the
There are
damage.
better things for me to spend key points on.
Yeah, I understand that.
like stunning them.
Like stunning them, yes. Or flurry or whatnot. Anyway, unless anyone has any better ideas for any other business we want to do in the town of, oh my gosh.
Something we may need to have you all do at some point is set it official on who has what role on the ship, so we actually know who the officers are, and they all will probably get some little boon or aspect of office. But that would also mean that the ship can function better when it comes to, ship-to-ship combat that we've not done in a while.
And to be honest, I kind of had
ship combat sometime.
To be honest, I had kind of expected, part of this session to be doing that, but we're missing a couple of people. So,
well, we can at least start the talk, and I figured you could start heading towards your next mission. Which, if they're not here, okay, well, at least we can still make some headway and not just freeze up and not go anywhere.
Alright, proposal. get Ryu back after he travels an hour away from us, hop on the ship, head to the prince, talk with him, say, "Good job, we got it. Thanks for all the loot." Head back to Garganov, pick up the loot from finishing the quest, and say, "Yeah, we finished it, all on our own, with the help of some friends." And then see what they have there. How's that sound?
Sounds great.
All right. So how far away does Ryu get in an hour?
Considering that's how long fly lasts, pretty far.
Yep.
Well, fly lasts 10 minutes if I recall.
Oh, right.
Well, if Ryu was here, I'd need a survival check.
Mhm.
And,
I can roll that for him.
if you want to take that responsibility on yourself.
I mean, as the character that almost died from his spell? Sure. Ryu, survival. Wisdom.
I'll even ping
That's
him
nice.
just to see if he's,
I rolled a 16.
Okay. That means able to head the right direction.
That's always good. Okay. Oh, while we're in the town, can we sell that splint armor? The
Oh.
smoking armor.
You don't want it?
Does it do anything beyond smoke and give us disadvantage on stealth?
Don't believe so.
Then yes.
Could you repost that link to the map?
Sure. Give me a second. I'm down a monitor tonight. It's yeah. Oh gosh, why are you so big? That's better.
Just use a long cable and hook into the TV.
Then I'd have to move.
I was gonna say, I'm not sure how well that'll work.
Well, I am set up right next to the TV now on the old thing. On my old desk. So. There's the link.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Are we using the roles that you posted, Nate, or the roles in the Seeker Salvation document? Because they differ slightly.
They do, because one's from a homebrew that someone made. I'm debating. I'm open to people's thoughts. Because there is a bit of difference, and I kind of like having the other ones I posted better.
Okay. Hmm. So we got captain, potentially first mate, quartermaster. Ryu was said navigator.
I do like having those different, which the document that we had just had first mate and no one was the captain. But I kind of like that someone should be captain and then someone should be second in command, and that way you have the full hierarchy. Because it tends to help things move.
The ones you posted look good.
Now, the reward or aspect for the position, taking the position is probably going to be different than that, but I more grabbed it for the flavor text of the position and the actual name of the position.
That's true.
So I got elected quartermaster. We've been playing Cookie off as the captain just because he had the highest charisma score, but I don't know if he's wanting to continue doing that. Our pilot / helmsman is kind of dependent on who's using the Spelljammer helm.
Yeah, and who has the skills to run it? I don't.
Which I don't know how much you actually know about that, Baden.
Not too much.
So spelljamming ships, basically, in order to move the ship, it requires a special type of helm that basically most of the non-evil ones
Right.
run off of the magical power of the ones who are using it. So basically, if you have spell slots, you can pilot a ship.
Okay. Makes sense.
Or you can move the ship, in which the better spellcaster you are, the more proficient you are at moving the ship.
Sure.
But it also drains your spell slots for that day.
I'm not very good at it.
Bane doesn't have many spell slots.
So you could move the ship in a pinch, or otherwise.
Or we could install a death helm for you. It'd suck your life force, but you can move it at will.
That seems an option. If it just sucks years off my life, I'd be fine with that.
It's like,
Nate's also introduced key helms, which monks can use, and then there is a type of ship that doesn't use magic for propulsion.
Clockwork. Woo!
But
it's
needless to say,
debatable
we have a standard magic-based major helm. So only people with magic can actually move the ship.
It. Okay, makes sense.
So you guys should be happy that my rolls sometimes are just really, really high, multiple times in a row. That's how you got a major helm.
I'm aware.
I'm happy with that part. It's a 50 plus damage in 3 hits. That hurt.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why.
I looked at those die and I was like, yeah, that's basically near max damage.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
this would have been a lot easier if you hadn't rolled so well.
I tend to either roll like all high or all low, even with physical dice. It's kind of weird.
I mean, if you just categorize the zones as high or low, then yeah, that makes it easy.
Well, I mean, if like the mid zone on the dice, I don't roll. So, 10 plus or minus if you seems to come up fairly rare on the d20 for me, or the others on the other dice.
I understand. All right. So we'll keep talking about what rolls we want.
Do you want to go ahead and repost those rolls so everyone can look at them again?
The rolls
the ones you posted last Thursday?
Mm-hmm. Whichever one you like better.
They're not that far up.
Because there's one.
Yours are a little more differing. The ones in the document don't have quite as many.
Yeah. You can get rid of the extra white spaces on there if you want.
Oh gosh.
I tried to do it, but it looks like I missed a few if you copied mine.
I did.
Because there's there's also a set of copying from the 25th that Nate did that has a lot of the same rolls, but is
Why so much white space? Nope, that
The
wasn't.
document I
white space.
got it from had it that way. Yeah, it's not great.
Because there was one that had engineer. Yeah.
Yep,
Which-
that's the one that. That's the document one.
You're also welcome to combine. Like, it would be good to have an engineer or someone who's a repairman for the ship. It wouldn't
Yeah,
be an engineer like on, modern ships.
So Yonovan makes the most sense for engineer. Nursil probably makes sense for healer.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
I'm the acting quartermaster.
We have more roles than we have primary characters.
Well,
I don't
some of
think we
these,
do.
I got secondary.
There's 8 total roles.
Yeah.
There's captain from what I'm seeing from kind of the main ones, because
There's
Cookies.
in the one he listed, there's 10 total, so 11 if you include engineer. And the 11th
But
one or
the thing
10th
about
one
it
is
is
just
that I'm
mates,
seeing
which is
as
just
well.
everyone.
Title number 10 is mate. All those without other
Right.
titles are mates. Mates are basically
That's what I was
everyone
saying.
else on the
Yeah.
ship.
Screw ups.
Cooks are, well, Cookie is that's kind of his stick.
Right.
He does all the cooking. So even if he ends up being another role, he's also
Right.
the
So I
cook.
could be first mate and engineer. Like,
That's fine with me.
But both
we
Swains,
cast
I see
mending.
that being our player characters that don't get any other role
Yeah.
Mhm.
because they're, junior officers or in training. They're higher ranked than the mates, but but anyway, we would contact Rio, and then we would meet up with Rio at either the ship or at the beginning of the cave, depending on what's better. I don't want to get stuck on when we meet up with Rio. We'll just meet up with Rio, assuming
Enough.
that Rio
The lash is over
makes
with.
survival checks and all that stuff.
All right. Mm-hmm. Duracell. Da-da.
We should obviously make group captain.
Nah, group should be the weapons
The
officer.
negotiator.
I don't. Well,
Hey,
group
he
as a
can tamp.
group as a weapons officer would be kind of cool because that would be like having an extra ballista. Just
Yeah.
him chunking. I mean,
Throwing rocks. Yeah.
I'm not.
mean-
I'm not sure the long-term ramifications of having group as the weapons officer if we end up eventually getting cannons that
I mean, it's the
are
cannons.
quite
He can just
explosive.
tamp down the force powder into the cannon. He is the tamping.
I'm just.
All right, cool. Ryu would come back, settled by the character.
Cool.
Okay.
I can see Sheridan being weapons officer, assuming Sheridan doesn't want anything else.
Yeah, I'm not sure where Baden or Aldra would fit in. And Baden's also new, so.
Ideally, we would have, chosen these before we just went on missions. But you know what? We're green at this whole flying around in space business.
Baden can come up with weapons as well.
Group for ship masks.
Uh, grouping squeaks for mascot. Yeah. Oh. Group just strap him to the front of the ship.
Hey, it's a landing
Alright,
ship.
give me just a moment. You guys can keep
Yeah.
dialoguing about the roles that people desire, want, or stuff like that, and we should get those all solved would be good. Good.
I don't know if it's 60 or 30. I'll look at it. Yeah, 60 feet. Spell ends, you fall if it's still aloft. And now convert that to miles per hour. Times 3600 divided by 5280. Why don't we know those
It's
numbers?
4.4. You know, he got it right. We're close.
Huh?
4.4. 1,200 feet a minute, and so 4.4 minutes a mile. 5 to 80. Divided by 1,200.
Well, 20 feet a second is 72,000 feet an hour. I got 13 miles.
That's per hour.
Right.
4.5 miles and 4.5 minutes per mile.
Ideally, the spell fly wouldn't exhaust you though, like trying to go at a full sprint.
Yeah, you're just flying.
Pretty quick. Would exhaust you mentally, though.
Theoretically, yeah.
Train you.
Make your survival check at disadvantage. Now to pick the worst die. Oh, sorry, Rio, you got lost. Am I better? Probably not. We'll find out later. Oh,
Also,
can't do math.
all this
Oh,
proves is that monks are just really, really good athletes.
that's true. You're very dexterous.
Also run faster and farther than anyone else.
All right. So, what kind of missions do y'all want to take next? Do we want to go to Rupert Star, which had a lot of stuff there and a lot of missions?
Well, we've been gone for a little bit. The missions may have changed.
Right, missions might have changed, but there was like 6 or 7 planets there,
Sure.
and there was someone that just wanted us to bring something to him as a mission, so that there's some sort of order there. We could also try and hunt down Yonovan's assassins and kill them first. Or we can let them engage us in the middle of space, because that sounds like fun.
It's generally a bad idea to actually fight in the phlogiston.
Meh. Oh well.
Let's put it this way: they would be really, really bold if we got attacked in the phlogiston.
That's true. I really cannot do math, but that seems, yeah. I really cannot do math. Yeah. 2.2 miles per fly spell. Whatevs. I still like the idea of having a bunch of people flying and someone casting seeming to look like clouds. That seems like a good way to stealth into a Oklahoma.
Easiest way to stealth into Oklahoma is just walk in there because no one actually pays attention who goes into Oklahoma. I mean, I make a lot of fun of Oklahoma. Self-depreciating humor.
I'm pretty sure you could get onto Tinker Air Force Base with a very sloppily made counterfeit CAC card. However, I don't want to test that theory.
I wonder if my FAA badge would get me on there.
Probably. Do you use a card to log into your computer?
Yeah.
Do they call it a common access card?
No.
You could probably get in. It probably looks like a standard generic card. Definitely not going to post a picture in chat because that'd be a bad idea. Half the days I get on base.
I could show you kind of what mine looks like. Just go to
Let's just go to Google.
my.gov.
Yeah. Sample. Copy image. Paste image. That's kind of what mine looks like.
It's close, but
You could probably get on base then.
It's not that close.
Let me put it this way. Half the days I come on base, they have scanners to scan the cards and make sure you're actually in a database so you can get on base. Half the days though, they just kind of look at it, flip it over, look at the other side, and give it back to you. And say, have a nice day. So just get in during rush hour.
I'm not going to attempt that risk.
Good choice though. I will say I wasn't going to keep working for the government when I was going to do my 6 years and get my master's and say see ya. But then they put me on the newest program in the nicest building. And I was like, I like this team. I might stay.
Also, benefits for working for the federal government are amazing.
That too. 5%.
Even if
Yeah.
even if you could get paid more in the private sector.
So much more. Anyhow, yeah. 5% after deductible health insurance? Yeah, I could get behind that. Yeah, all the other software buildings and people and groups have the saddest drab green slash tannish cubicles that are 6 foot tall, tightly crammed into their rooms. It is so sad. And we have our building. We actually have color on the walls. We have cubicles with walls that are half walls between the cubes. We can actually talk to each other, which is a good and bad thing for productivity, but it is what it is. And yeah, it's
I mess with their security all the time. But they didn't work for the government, so the
yeah.
worst that could happen would be a rent-a-cop manages to get your tag down and emails your boss, who then wags his finger at you and tells you to stop messing with the security guys. But they had optical turnstiles, and they
Optical.
had one that was meant for carts, so it had a longer sensor time between. It, it was expecting a cart, although it only worked well with solid objects. So carts that were just, you didn't have a good cloth over them, it wouldn't handle very well. It would still chirp at you. But if you offset people side by side, kind of, you could get like a dozen people through without it going off. Just
That's
first person
amusing.
swipes and just like make solid wall of people.
Yeah.
The trick was not laughing when you got through it without it chirping. Because if you giggle as you're going out to lunch, you hear the scary person like, "I see you."
Yeah,
And it's great for like when it malfunctioned all the time. It wouldn't read fast enough between people. So someone would swipe, the next person would swipe, and they wouldn't read it because it wasn't ready yet. It wasn't quick enough. And so it like chirp, and they'd ignore it and go down the hall. I did my job. I chirped. It's broken. It's not my fault.
Mhm.
And like, it's November. Everyone's wearing jackets, and you hear the scream go, you in the jacket, come back here. And like the hallway kind of like slows down, like looks around, like, are you shitting me? Like every single person in this hallway is wearing a jacket, and it's just like everyone continues like whatever. It's not. You're gonna have to do better than person in jacket. Okay, I think I was him, but you know,
We're very trusting with our security to our little building
yeah.
inside a bigger building.
I mean, I've gone over to the data center where I didn't have access to and walked out with 3 boxes of stuff. It was my stuff that was there because of the flood, but like
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. My push button on gate. My badge isn't working. Gate opens. Drive in. Park. Like, oh boy.
Yeah. There are some things you don't do, like have a rubber band war when the director of the program walks through the building. We got told to put away the rubber bands after that. It was a sad, sad day.
You did what? How does that have
We
to
were
do with
boosting
ship
morale.
positions?
I feel like
Team
you're having
building
capacity.
exercise.
Yeah, that's what I said.
We need. So who's the party officer?
Did you remember to charge the capacitors before you put them in the rubber band guns?
We didn't have rubber band guns. We were about to print those and bring them, though.
Who ships counselors so we could put you in the skimpy dress and I mean,
Winch
We got
outfit.
those across the way. Anyhow.
we didn't do very much talking about further ship strolls.
Yeah, I kind of gathered.
Baden would be a good secondary weapons officer. That's about it.
The thing is, no one's actually volunteered to be first mate.
I did.
Yeah.
It's like,
You're
Y'all
going to be
even
first mate and engineer?
I mean, I can cast mend when it's needed.
He does seem fitting for that. I'll
No, I'd be
say
okay
that.
with that.
But
I'm just curious. Engineer is an optional position.
That
It's kind of
seems
like
reasonable.
Cookie. It's kind of like how Cookie's going to be the cook occasionally too.
So are you okay
Well-
with leaving Cookie as the captain?
That's
Yeah.
the thing. I mean, that's optional as well.
I mean, do you want to be the captain, Jonathan?
Not particularly, but I'm happy
Anyone wanna
covering
be
for
the
him when he's not
captain?
here. See, that's the.
Yeah.
I think Doran wants to volunteer for captaincy.
Of course he would.
Absolutely.
Uh,
Doran would be very happy to be captain.
I bet we'd have some fun adventures.
Which of these spheres has the most suckers to swindle?
All of them.
Oof.
Except the flat Earth. That one was a disappointment.
Yeah, Doran didn't like that spot.
I don't think anyone did.
I thought it was
That
pretty
very
fun.
uncomfortable.
It was pretty cool, but
It was
lack
also
of
very
water was
unnerving
not.
and uncomfortable.
Cleoc very much does not like the plane of Earth either.
Understandably.
Something about air.
Alright. Yonovan, Baden, Sarah, Cookie, Rio, Cleoc. We got the first people. And that covers most of the roles.
I believe there's others who have navigator abilities as well, but it also doesn't cover pilots, which I guess you could swap off helmsman if needed.
I believe I can navigate,
Well,
but
the navigator pilot is one bullet point.
Technically, they are two different skills, so they really should be two different skills. One person can do both, but two people could also do both.
Okay.
For example, Cleoc, I believe, learned the navigation, but he cannot pilot the current ship we have
I
because he
see.
does not have spellcasting arcane abilities.
I have on my character sheet I am proficient in astral navigation.
Well, Rio wants the navigator. So someone else can pilot. Or he can pilot as well.
True, it's just good to know who the backups are in case, Rio gets knocked unconscious.
Correct.
For example, the reason you know the time frames between the existing spheres that you can see from the lovely chart that you made is because you have an astral navigation skilled person. So if you did not have that, then you would not know how long. Good luck.
Baden could potentially be a backup for that. He does have some arcane ability.
A backup for pilot, you'd have to train in the skill.
Yeah. I would have to train, and I know.
There
No
you
idea
go.
how it'll
Alright,
go.
who wants to navigate the lifeboat that Baden's going to train on?
Oh boy.
Luckily, you don't need a navigator for lifeboats that are just flying around locally. It's the big ships going between systems or within systems that you really want to have a navigator for.
So we can train over time.
Yes.
Da-da-da. Do y'all want any other backup? Backup roles. I nominate Cleoc for second mate.
Alright.
Third in charge. It's kind of already set up that way, but all right, we got a captain, first mate, navigator and pilot, weapons, engineer, a healer, and a quartermaster. We got all the basic roles filled. The cook's also covered. Everyone else can be a mate or boatswain. Nurse, healer slash surgeon. The weapons officer is kind of the gunner. We got the pilot and helmsman, the navigator. Got that covered. and then the last 3. Cool. That's just
Nice.
Squeaks and Nursil both are capable of piloting.
okay.
However, if it happens we get attacked while Nursil's on, it means that all his charges
Yeah.
are burned.
Yep. All right. All that set. Negotiator for who? The crew or the officers?
Well, you know, we could always sign Doran up for Whooping Boy.
That is true. He could be the figurehead for punishments.
Now, I'm not a
Cleoc?
complete cheat. I did take expertise in persuasion, but not deception.
Cleoc, we do need you to start flogging Doran. Floggings need to continue until morale improves.
For him, for who? Him or us?
Doran, make a performance check.
Oh gosh.
Sorry,
One
I
What else
can't.
is
performance,
It would
one
be
deception.
it would be interesting for an opposed deception versus insight because
Yeah.
because they are matching 6s, so it'd be whoever I rolled better with.
Oh god, it hurts. It hurts.
Because Cleoc is proficient in insight, Doran is proficient in deception,
Yeah, it's amusing.
and they're both +6s.
Mm-hmm.
That is really great.
All right.
Although if Cleoc gains another level, he's probably going to get another proficiency point, which then he get ahead.
Oh. So you better hurry up and get Doran up there.
I'm taking Doran to the next mission.
Yeah, I'm probably
Whatever
gonna take
it is.
Aldra to the next one as well. Just to vary him out.
Long story short, Cleoc, being the newly elected quartermaster, needs to actually,
Be the
prepare for said
quartermaster.
role,
Mm-hmm.
and get. Cookie has done a decent job of, or done a pretty good job of being the acting quartermaster, but Cleoc needs to.
Is there a reason you
spend-
want to go to that one instead?
Hmm.
I just got a notification on the tablet that you're trying to have it navigate somewhere.
Oh, it did?
Yeah. I didn't know if there's a reason you're trying to or not.
Nope. It just said that you're trying to open a web page, and I said okay. That's
Is
weird.
it displayed for you?
Nope. It says get more done with new Chrome.
Yeah.
Does it still say that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll post the link again.
No, I have the link in there. Watch the stream.
Get more done with the new Chrome.
Yep. I do see the link. Yep, y'all are just asking to open. There you go. Now it's
There
loaded.
we go.
And we're screwed again.
It should be showing up again, hopefully.
There we
It
go.
is showing up.
I see it again. Now everyone stop touching the tablet. It's touch
If you
free
notice,
zone.
I saved the link there off on the side to make sure we have it from now on.
Alright. That works out well.
And then we
Great
can
success.
just keep adding.
The biggest thing is I can't copy and paste, but I don't think.
Nope. Not
Do you
easily, at
need a
least.
copy of it?
No, we're fine.
No, it's just,
Okay.
Alright. I'm going to copy and paste these roles into the characters tab.
Oh wait, I can't copy and paste it. I think maybe.
There. Alright, so back to the prince. Moving on.
Back to the prince. He told us job well done. He got you a reward. Blah blah blah.
Yep. Is there anything particular you want to talk to him about, or just check in and say, hey, it's done?
Basically that. It's done. We didn't die. You were right, it was hard. Thanks to the warning about the shock, that really saved us.
Okay.
We wish to sell some items.
Sure.
Would you be interested in the smoldering breastplate for your horde?
Splint armor.
Not particularly. And what do you mean a horde?
Nothing.
Anything else we didn't say we needed?
Cleok, are you breaking the fourth wall again?
No Neurosil, of course not.
I mean, think of how much use your kobolds could have by disassembling this. Maybe they could figure out how it's smoking like this.
To what value?
Never know. Wonderful question.
Anyway, on a serious note, we would try and sell the smoldering armor. Actually, does Yonovan, since you would seem to be the most knowledgeable about this, how much would this sell for? What would be a you would say a fair price for this?
You talking about the armor?
Yes.
It is enchanted.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do an arcane check. I think maybe. I don't know. Let's see here.
I'm looking up the splint armor itself. Because we'd know what armor runs for, right?
Basic, yes, you would be able to find what kind of a mid-range would be. That doesn't mean what
Basic
it's
splint
available
armor
for.
costs 200 gold. As a median.
Keep in mind, when you sell, it is less than what it is to buy.
Yes. So we could keep it if anyone ever needs splint armor, which I doubt.
It would require a rather strong person, and the best way we would want to try and, I believe, to try and sell it is as a novelty item, not an actual suit of armor.
Correct, because of the smoldering part, it's disadvantage on. Well, no,
Gosh.
that's any splint armor.
60 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, nope, not for Peyton for sure.
Requires something like even
Strength
a certain
15.
amount of strength to even
Mhm.
wear. 15 strength to even wear.
Golly.
So
We'll put on a
Saradin
group for kicks and
could
ass.
wear it. Group probably isn't proficient in heavy armor.
So,
Squeaks
either
could
way,
fit inside it.
door
either way,
to sell it.
Either way, we would sell it to like collectors and not necessarily people who would.
Yeah, like those, like the pair of halflings or whatever that ran the shop on.
We don't have to sell it
Cut
here.
off the hand
If I
island.
remember right, the town we're in is actually a little small, like offshoot town, and if the prince isn't interested in it, I don't know who would be.
Maybe the
It's
forge.
a oasis. It's a desert oasis city, so there is a lot of mercantile aspects. However, it's not exactly a place where you necessarily would want something that is smoldering.
Maybe the forge masters would be interested in it as like a figurehead inside the forge.
That
Debatable.
would be funny.
Hey, stick it on a mannequin next to the forge.
That's a prank item almost in the forge.
Yeah. There's always the, what is it called? Alchemical jug, which you can actually use to also produce smoke, I believe. Or is it... There's a number of items that can produce smoke.
Yeah, that's true.
So, the ability to produce smoke on something isn't exactly...
It's a very common enchantment, as it has been said.
Either way, Cleok doesn't know knows the worth of a standard splint armor, but doesn't know if this would be potentially more valuable to attempt to sell, and what would be the appropriate price for selling it. The bad news, everyone, is that if I'm also responsible for buying and selling stuff, my charisma is not good.
That's why you have Doran to help you. He can literally
You're
be your
responsible
negotiator.
for it doesn't mean that you have to be the one who does it.
That's fair.
So you keep the
You just have to
inventory.
I can
the-
delegate
Doran
Doran to sell
buys.
this.
Correct.
And don't swindle this guy. It's bad for our
Hey, we
reputation.
got 300 gold. Woohoo!
All right. We also have the boots of Elvenkind that we forgot to go over.
That looks like that was already in the ship inventory.
Yeah.
Who knows how long they've been in there?
So...
Alright. How do we sell this armor, DM?
It's up to you. You can just
Go
sell
to
it
a
off,
shop.
or you can...
I would like to let's at least return to the main port of Garganov, which is before we try and sell it.
Okay, works for me.
What is the main port city in Garganov called?
That would also be the place where we would double check on any missions, since we have been gone for, well, turn in the, hey, we saved the town, and see what comes of that. And then, if need be, look for any other sort of missions from there to see if some of the others are still applicable. Also note that the ship upgrades have been completed, and if I remember right, we've reduced the armor class of our ship by 1 to increase its speed by 1. And so the amount of travel time between spheres should actually be lower than it was.
I think last we talked, that change, the time would be the same. But between spheres, but inside of the spheres would be faster. Just to keep things simple.
Okay.
That's a combat speed and stuff. So the
Right.
days between spheres may not change by much.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the big issues of the speed coming into play is your maneuverability around other ships. Can you run away from them? Can you not? Can you navigate around them? Can you not? That's really where speed comes in to be highly important.
And it looks like that has already been put into the document.
If you're talking about between spheres, it might reduce it by a day or two, but it's not going to have as big of an impact as it would in combat.
Oh, I thought, kind of we were getting that upgrade just so we can go in between spheres faster. But beyond the I thought, it's like, oh yes, it make us more maneuverable in combat, but then never mind. We'll get into that later.
I'll check the rules again, but I don't remember seeing that if it did.
Cookie was the big proponent for that, so it's already done. We
Blame
spent our
him!
money.
Blame him!
Let's not worry about travel time. We can do that after the session.
Yeah,
the downtime.
that's
Um,
saving a couple days here and there isn't as big a deal as being more maneuverable in combat.
so I would like to return to the main town of Garganov, which I believe is still called Garganov, and find our contact. Which do I have the right notes up?
2 days back to Garganov, I do believe. It's across the planet.
Yeah. So we saved the town of Gutvik. I believe our contact was Cafford in the Wandering Sage Inn in Garganov, maybe? Yeah.
Sure.
Cafford is the desert oasis city that you were
Ah.
just in.
Yeah.
Gutvik is the guy who gave us the mission.
And Hatfield is the city.
It's bad that I have typed notes down, but don't necessarily. It's like I have notes, I've put names down, but not necessarily the context of them all that well. Anyway, back to the main town. Let's talk to Gutvik.
Yep. Let's go get our reward.
And go from there.
So to Garganov we go.
Yeah, to
And you get
Garganov.
to your contact there. And he gives you your bounty, a nice little chest that he has.
Cool. I'm glad I got a double reward.
So,
This is
Ferry,
technically a different mission.
yes. Ferry says he thanks you for assisting and dealing with her and preventing her from causing additional problems. And he says he wishes he had more to give, but this is what he's able to acquire currently to reward you for your kind deeds.
We thank you. Kliak, you got those into the ship.
Sure.
Nice.
As I try and gather them all up and prepare to fly them back into my ship, I notice something weird in my pocket.
What's that?
I have a curious stone.
Maybe
And
we'll
it
cast
activate.
Identify on it.
And it activates.
A doorway appears in front of Cleog.
I open the door.
There's some weapons and gear in there. Very familiar weapons and gear.
I place the golden gemstones in there. Close the door.
And you activate the stone again and the door disappears.
It was really weird, but someone had this thought in my mind a little on the way back. I don't know if I was just dozing off or what, but I've acquired the stone that has given me access to the armory from any location. Our armory.
Cool.
It's like you're the
Although it's
quartermaster
really-
or something.
Although it's a little odd in that one of my possessions was missing as well when I received the stone, but that was somewhat valuable, but wasn't really in use. I had a +1 mace on me, and I no longer have a +1 mace on me.
Mm.
It's okay.
So, what is your quest?
What can we investigate to find what quest there might be?
You can choose to fly off to one of the other spheres. You can look for missions here. You may or may not find any. You can make a mission of your
Alright.
own.
I have an idea, guys. We've heard about Eakin's Trinket before, had a few quests. There are 6 planets there, and a sun. How do y'all feel about looking for a quest to go to Eakin's Trinket and see where we can go from there?
You can do that. Cleok is going to see if there's any new news about the flesh dealers.
Okay.
Well, you are able to talk to a ship. And let's see what you can find for details, Clea, by rolling probably an investigation charisma check.
Investigation charisma. That's a 7.
Hey, it's a 7. That's your roll total? Wow.
My roll on the dice was an 8.
So you're not proficient.
I am not proficient in investigation.
Talking around the docks for hours while others do other things, you're able to eventually hear that there's been talks in Khatun about additional issues of some sort that the flesh dealers have done, but the person's like, I don't get into that stuff. I try to stay out of their politics.
So, back to Katoon? Or do we want to try and...
That was for finding information on the flesh dealers. So if you want to try to find other options, you can roll to do so.
Alright. I'll roll for missions in both Katoon and Eakin's Trinket. Something to get us either place. Hey, want to help me with that? Y'all went quiet. Oh, Jonathan's muted again.
I'll assist.
Alright, what am I rolling? Just a nice investigation check?
Which method of searching are you doing?
Well, we know there's boards and stuff, and we know a few locations for quests. So a combination of looking on the quest boards and talking to the already aware of brokers.
Okay. Then roll them without advantage. And roll one using charisma and one using wisdom. And it
Okay.
would be investigation.
Cool. At least I still have my expertise in investigation to help us. Alright, the charisma is a nice 15. Thanks to the expertise.
Okay.
The wisdom is, if I can not drop it, is a 20, not nat.
Okay.
Wait, no, 21. Wisdom, yeah, 21. And of course, I would keep my ears out for things dealing with slavery and stuff like that, because that is our mission, opposing the flesh dealers.
Because the main people here don't like the flesh dealers at all.
We're not as likely to hear about it. I'm also not opposed to exploring ruins.
Let's see here. I was trying to find one of the ones that came up and roll to see if it's still available or not. So give me a moment.
We do have another avenue for flesh dealer activities.
And what is that?
I would like Nurasil, potentially, since I'm pretty sure he's met him, to contact the very first captain via message. Potentially, as an option.
Okay.
As a team up sort of thing, what is the what would you want to contact him for?
So the idea is that, so to give Baden a little bit of context, when the original group was basically introduced to the setting, we had all basically been captured by who had become the first captain, because the first captain had basically made a business deal, but it turned out to be a very, very bad business deal for him, and thus he was accidentally dealing with the flesh dealers. At least that's what we've been led to believe, and what our characters believe. But he found a loophole out of it, and basically, even though he captured us, he basically saved our lives as well.
Cool.
And he made it very clear that he hated the flesh dealers.
Okay.
And that the flesh dealers hated him. And one encounter that we had, we were doing a different mission. And then at the conclusion of that mission, it turns out that a flesh dealer ship had attacked that captain's ship and basically had it in suspended animation or whatever, and we saved them. Because basically the flesh dealers sent out a hit against them.
Because he failed to do whatever he was doing.
Not necessarily that. He's apparently done some other. It may have been for that, but but we were led to believe that he has been much more active in being against the flesh dealers than that.
Okay.
So it would be at least of any one single person, somewhat a little bit more likely to have information as to if we were to wanting to concentrate efforts towards opposing the flesh dealers. He would likely have. He would be probably a decent contact to get with as far as either teaming up or just getting some more information in this fight, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down to contact and see if he has any information.
So basically, uh, what you had said, Yanovan, basically either team up or at least get a little bit more information about the dealings, as in the context of uh, we're still trying to get our feet under us, but we would like to join the fight in opposing them.
Yeah. Armada.
In which I might still have the previous captain's name written down, which I believe his name was.
The first captain?
Okay, that's the second captain. It might be in a different set of notes.
First
Second captain didn't like the flesh dealers either. But
No. You've been lucky and landed with those captains. My evil die
I find that
rolls
most
help
people
you.
don't like the flesh dealers.
Flesh dealers like the flesh dealers.
Emrakul.
Yes.
He was the
And his first mate?
Gari. Or Grari, or
Mm-hmm.
the Monkey Man Grari. Grari.
Whose fist the original party met very intimately.
We were all level 1 at the time, and he punched all of our lights out.
Uh-huh.
After we'd been caught in the net or whatever. Well, I was caught in it. I don't know how everyone else got pulled upon the ship.
That sounds about right. A quick little knockout punch.
Well, I don't like
And
the
then we
whole
woke up in cages.
you're a bunch of random people meet in the bar and somehow go into outer space when they don't know about it.
If a bar
Shanghai
ends
does
up being,
make sense.
if a bar ends up being a cells on a ship, then sure.
Yeah, I guess that would
What
work.
What if the bar was the ship and you didn't know it until it took off? That seems a bit extreme.
I'm trying to clean up and find, because I know I had a few missions for you at one point that were there.
That's been like months ago now.
That's why it's taking you a little bit.
Months in real time. Game time, it's probably been
A couple weeks.
couple weeks.
Yep. That's why some will be similar, some won't. Potentially. We might see those other adventuring groups coming and taking all the quests.
Which is fine. The world doesn't revolve around us. We're not playing a standard JRPG to where the world's going to end in 3 days, but we can still do all the side quests.
Yeah.
And however long we want.
Did any of y'all play Dying Light? A little zombie adventure, more or less.
I've heard of it, but I haven't played it.
Is really kind of funny. There's a temporary cure that keeps you from turning into a zombie. But as the days go on, you start getting affected more and more. So the main storyline, whenever the day passes in the storyline, stuff happens like that. But you can play for weeks in the open world they have and do all the side quests and not be affected at all, even though you're bitten in the tutorial. So yeah, that came to mind with the 3 days and all the side quests.
In contrast to Baldur's Gate 1, where there's a side quest that kind of turns into a main quest if you end up talking to the wrong people because you find out you've been poisoned and you die in 10 in-game days. And you die in 10 in-game days if you don't do the quest.
That's funny.
Time to roll a new character sheet.
Restart. Don't take
Of
that
course,
side.
if the main character dies, it's game over. So,
That does kind of seem like the Skyrim quest with the God of Tricks, where you have a really fun night at the bar and go all over the world.
Alright, found the quest. I'm trying to get them in chat right now.
Cool. I think there's so many corrupt politicians we can go root out if we want. We can take all the monks with their insight. Do we believe you? Natural ones say yes.
So those are 3 quests that you had heard about earlier that still seem to be available.
Okay. And they are to 3 different locations. So we got a Pollitt corrupt aristocrat and Eakin's trinket.
And that's
We've
just from
got-
your research reclearing what you know.
That's from previous research, yeah. Then there's the perpetual storm over the Reef of Ghosts in the one that only has a sun, a class F sun, which means it's big. And then protecting someone all the way back to Rupert Star where you started. Was there any other exits from Rupert Star?
You don't know.
Okay.
If you notice, all the ones in the outline, so Enthere, Edwina's Star, Eakin's Trinket, and Rupert's Star are unknown. In fact, the only thing you know about Enthere is that there is a Class F sun. You don't know if any
We don't know if
contents. And the same thing with Rupert's Star and Edwina's Star. You don't know anything there. You just know that that's the name of the star, and that's why it got the sphere's name. Is that?
Yeah.
Contents there is unknown.
Okay. Sort of like unexplored.
Yeah. You haven't discovered and pushed back the fog of war there yet.
Well, all the same, Ghost Reef, Reef of Ghosts does not sound entirely enticing. Coral Reef, maybe. Ghost Reef, not so much. While you're generating the quests, I'll be right back.
Any other plans for the rest of you while I get this pulled up? Crickets? Crickets?
So I know I had said earlier about, contacting either Emrakul or perhaps Grari for if they had any information on flesh stealer activities.
And back.
Be an interesting team up.
Yeah.
Although
Teaming up is
to be honest, Cleok's not super trusting of Emrakul still.
Yeah.
From what I heard, I can't blame him.
Also, given what we know about spelljamming ships now, we never actually met who's piloting the ship.
Yep.
There was a room on that ship specifically that we were instructed to never go into, and me being
Was
lawful, I never did.
It was
Doran,
also
on the other
locked.
hand,
Doran actually was never on that ship, so
yeah, Doran would have totally gone in though.
well, the door would have
It
been
was
locked, but
I tried. I tried
Does he
peeking
not?
into it, actually.
Does he not have thieves' tools?
So, my room was, like, next door to it, I think. There was, like,
No, it was a storage room.
Oh, that was a storage room? Okay. I peeked into a storage room by moving a plane and
No.
not
You
out
peeked
of
from the storage room, trying to peek into there.
Oh well. It was worth a try. Long ago. So what kind of missions are y'all interested in?
not investigation.
Yeah.
That seems wise.
Although, if Doran's doing it, he's a lot better at the whole find information thing. He's not good at investigation, but he's good at talking.
I mean, 2 of them are investigations. So,
At the very least, if I'm taking Doran on the next mission, he's a lot better prepared to handle the skills generally associated with investigating corrupt people.
That is true. investigating the reef might also be, don't die, go tell us what's there.
I suppose.
Go tell us what's wrong with the ghost reef. It's full of ghosts. All right. Yeah. That's my thought on that one.
Thank you for your patience.
Happy to oblige.
Your call is important to us. Please continue to hold. We will get to with you as soon as we are able to.
I gotta say, I like the legendary thief here. So these are quests for.
They are quests.
That they
Okay.
are quests, but we don't necessarily know. Since this is the initial looking into them, we don't know exactly where they're at.
Indeed.
Correct. You do
Oh.
actually know where one of them takes place.
Yeah. Desert of Fire is.
Where'd you
One
hear
of them
that?
is the company of Axunder is seeking passage to Rupert's Star.
The Desert of Fire, where is that? You've been told recently.
Near Cafford.
Correct. Cafford is just outside the Desert of Fire, so you actually know where that's located.
Yep.
So hi, Cookie.
So,
Cookie has lost his ability to speak.
no, he just never gained it.
Alright. Legendary Thief. Pilgrim Safety.
So, you like your missions?
Looking at missions. Recover artifact. I like that. Desert of Rust. Court seeking a company to clear his name against the charges of heresy. Alright, so we gotta...
So I like how one of these quests is Manti is seeking a company to hunt down and capture a legendary thief here, and then here is seeking a company to recover and destroy an evil artifact from the ruins of the Key Mindster's stronghold.
Yep. It's great.
Whether that's coincidence or not, I don't know. But one of these people is wanting one of the other ones to be captured.
2 and 1. Keep the artifact. Alright. I have posted them all into the notes section in individual quests. You cannot speak. That is correct.
I saw that and
Huh.
thought about changing the name, but I'm like, no. This is a game of random. We shall embrace the random.
Do you know that somebody thinks you're a legendary thief? Are you sure this isn't evil? Do you know you have the same name as somebody who considers you a legendary thief?
Are you a legendary thief? Insight check. Zone of truth. Okay.
Keep in mind, there is limitations to what you just said.
I know. Many things are said as sarcastically. Alright. How do y'all feel about hunting highwaymen?
I don't know, it depends on where it's at.
Well, I'm trying to gauge interest in
Absolutely, I'm all for
Yep.
for stabbing thing. I mean,
Alright.
Hello?
I'm all for you being
Hi.
eaten by the great space Leviathan.
hello,
Captain, it's you!
You're
Oh,
my
Captain, my
us.
Captain!
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
We-
Okay. Sorry, guys.
So to give a 15-second rundown, we've chosen ship rules. We went back to Garganov, got our quest, got our somewhat meager quest reward. And we started looking for missions. Kleok tried to find some news on the flesh stealers, and apparently Katoon's been having a few problems with them, but didn't get much information on them.
The
And
sailor
I
you talked to
suggested
didn't
that
like
maybe
it
we
much.
want to message our very first captain to see if he had any information on flesh dealers. But we haven't actually done that yet. Captain Immerkel.
Yeah,
He didn't like the flesh dealers all that much.
that would
And the
be
flesh dealers didn't like him. Anyway. So we have a big list of missions.
Yeah.
cool. I like the penguin. I mean, the guy's name is basically Penguin. That's all I like.
And
You gonna call him that?
then I don't know if you've caught it or not, but the quest that we have here is that one quest wants us to hunt down the legendary thief here, and then another quest is seeking a company to recover and destroy an evil artifact.
But the question is, are you here? Or are you there?
Are you nowhere?
So it looks like the fate of the Order of Scholars and Mages, that one wasn't ever resolved, huh?
I guess not.
Because I feel like that same quest came up before, but
Yes, I've
Can't-
seen it before.
Yes. It was there. I'll go ahead and copy those in as well.
But now
hey,
2 more
look,
ships have been
there's a
spotted.
Desert of Rust and a Desert of Fire, and we keep losing Orders of Scholars and Mazes. For all we know, they could have been different orders. Based on the frequency.
Also, the Desert of Fire, we actually know where it's at because that was the
Yeah.
basically where we just came from, if I remember right.
Well, I
Yerp.
don't want to fight another electric dragon, thank you.
But the
Why?
rest would
It
be
was worth
acid.
Yes.
Oh yes, so the Desert of Rust. So we go and we meet a whole bunch of rust monsters who eat all our armor.
Hey, we just spray water on them and they finish rusting.
I was wanting to play Door. Looks like it's Cleoc's time to shine again.
It should be the
Dora can do
Desert of
some-
Rust monsters. That would be good.
All right, continue down the list. What are we?
So what
interested
happens
in?
when the unbreakable arrow meets the movable rust monster? Oh.
It just gets stuck.
Roll.
Are we interested in escorting a powerful arcane device?
Been there, done
Yeah.
It depends. Is any one of our party members going to steal said powerful arcane device?
Saying, would
Absolutely
never
not.
think of it.
Doran would never do such thing.
Insight check.
Try
Good
and
thing
sell it.
Ryu isn't here.
All right.
So basically, to make things a lot easier on everyone, if you're asking for Cleoc and or Doran's opinion, he doesn't want to keep us away from things that would be like investigating aristocrats and all of that stuff.
Yeah. Do y'all want to try and find lost scholars?
So exploring. So Lost Scholars would end up being a little bit of an investigation phase and probably an exploration to
Mm-hmm.
go with it. I'm fine with doing things like that. I just don't want it to be a super high, like a 90% investigation leading into maybe a
Yeah.
payoff fight. I want to maybe do something more akin to either to like some sort of dungeon crawl or something to try and break
Yes.
things up because it's been a while since we've done any
A
sort of
good
dungeon crawl.
Well, if you want a
Okay.
dungeon crawl, that's to destroy an evil artifact.
Yeah, I'm down for that one.
I mean, there's destroy an evil artifact or like explore ruins for some.
All right. So if y'all hadn't noticed, I moved the notes section, and I have all of the different quests. I'm kind of
Okay.
trying to break them up into how we feel about them. Yeah.
Hmm.
Rescue Lady Senti from the ogres of a location. That sounds like a fight.
Which is fine. I just want to step away from the super investigation heavy mission.
Me too, because it's like, what do we do now?
And Doran obviously wants to rescue the lady because
Always.
I do want to take Doran next mission and not Cleoc.
Okay. He'd be good for dungeon crawl, right?
He has dark vision. Haha! Cleoc doesn't have dark vision. That's why he's got this little magic little light source. That's very bad for stealthing. But it's a magic light source.
So, we don't know anything directly about our mission of
Hunting flesh dealers.
opposing flesh dealers, right?
No. That's why Cleoc made an investigation check and rolled an 8, which I was trying to actually talk to people, so that ended up being a 7. So Katoon had apparently a couple more run-ins with the flesh dealers, but that's all the information I got out of it. And so that's why I suggested having someone like Nurasil, who's met Captain Emrakul, message
Mhm.
Emrakul,
Okay.
or Monkey Man Gari, and because he might have a little bit more information.
I was suggesting we go to either Eakin's Trinket or Katoon, as Eakin's Trinket has more planets there, and Katoon had a couple whispers of run-ins with them. And so we're trying to
Step away
see
for a
which
moment.
of these quests might take us to one of those locations
Yeah.
and be useful.
That would be a good plan.
Also, I need to go to the restroom, so I will be right back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I'm all for a dungeon crawl. And I think we enjoy it, but I think we need to make sure we're attempting to follow our
Yeah.
mission, so to speak, a lot more strongly than we have in the past, because we get we'll get stuck on a mission for a couple months and start to be like, why are we doing this? It's not our mission.
Yeah. Alright. Where also our general goal, beyond opposing the flesh dealers, is doing good things, right? For money, of course.
Well, our group isn't exactly good aligned. We're closer to doing good things for us that are convenient. We do like helping people, and we like doing interesting things.
And we like
Kinda
helping
more
people
like-
help us.
Exactly.
We're closer to Robin Hood. An archery contest? Well, isn't that interesting?
An archery contest.
You know, yeah, we'll rob from the rich and give to the poor, sure, but also,
Just to warn
got-
you, that other campaign I am doing is going to have a festival with an archery contest.
Of course it will.
nice.
Alright. In the notes section, I have marked every quest I'm interested in learning more about, aka which sphere it's in, and any other details about it, with a little magnifying glass emoji.
Oh,
Okay, my cat's allergic to the outside, but he insists on going out there and sneezing.
That's
Dude.
amusing.
Sneezing is great. Didn't you know that's why you should always carry a little baggie of pepper so you can keep sniffing it?
What does your cat do when exposed to catnip?
He
Is that the cat
enjoys it.
sneezing?
Yes. Sorry, I'll mute.
No, you're good. It's amusing. Alright, so we're looking to go somewhere besides where we're at. Because we don't want to find the mages lost in the Desert of Fire. Or in the
Are
Desert
we
of Rest.
recording any of this right now?
Yes.
Yes, we are recording right now.
I feel like Nurasil just answered the question in character, which sounds oddly appropriate.
The stars told me, yes.
Yes. So do we have any interest in going to Anther, the giant sun, or Juana's star? Really far away.
Do we know where Anther even is? I don't recall
Anther is
that name.
29 days away from here, from Garganov.
And
With a
there
Class
is
F
the
sun.
closest of all the ones he's mentioned.
Now, are you keeping track of total distances with our speeds?
We have it written down. We were going to talk about the speeds after the session,
Yeah, we need to figure
as to
some
how
things
much
out,
it
but-
impacts outside of the spheres.
Oh. Right,
It'll-
it wasn't necessarily...
Yeah, we
what I
need to
thought it
review the
was.
documentation on that just to verify, because I
Okay.
can see
Yeah.
things leading both ways.
Alright.
Alright. I'm pretty sure we have no interest in clearing someone of heresy charges.
Yeah.
And we don't want to go 180 days away from here to a potential dead end.
It's only a dead end if you make it a dead end.
Well,
I don't trust my rolling.
what we could do is we could stock the ship for a full year, but Cleoc is not going to want to sit on a ship for a year of his life.
I don't blame him.
No.
So I'm interested in where the Key Minister stronghold is.
Yeah. So, how do you add reactions other than the ones that are visible? Other reaction?
I'm doing it on desktop, and it's very easy. Let me see.
Yeah, I'm on desktop.
You're on desktop?
But I right-click add reaction and then other reaction, and I'm just given a big,
Oh.
massive, awkward list.
If you're on the desktop, just look for the little face next to the message. Click on that, and you can start typing what you think it's called.
Like thumbs up? Okay.
Yep.
Got it.
Or eggplant, as Yonovan has found. Or pause button for the double.
Eggplant wasn't a freely queued item. That's why I used it earlier.
There's also the other reaction at the bottom of the right-click options. Which
Doran perked up a bit too much on rescuing a lady, so I put purple eggplant there.
That's what that was for. That makes a lot more sense.
I take it you know where which sphere the Desert of Fire is in, so I don't need to tell you that.
Yes. Correct. If you look at the notes one, I've got what we've got so far.
All right, I'm back.
Welcome.
We actually have some other reactions now. It's so nice. Yeah, so fun story with the item and loot things. All those letters are like regional indicator A, regional indicator S. And it's really hard to find them on the phone app or in the app. But on the desktop, it comes up if you just put an S.
Yeah, you
or
just push the
else.
keyboard button.
Yep. Okay. Does anyone need advantage on stealth?
I would probably. I would. Either we want to make someone's stealth really good, or we want to make Saradin's stealth not a disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
Which I didn't realize that his armor would be disadvantaged, so I actually didn't roll it disadvantage against said dragon person. But
It'd be Freyan, Doran, or Saradin would get the most benefit.
Doran's not going to say no to such things, but he's not necessarily the sneaky, stealthy personality type of rogue.
I see. If we go somewhere dark and dim, Baden already has advantage in stealthiness. It's nice. Soon, if we
stealthy one too.
You're talking about distributing the Boots of Elvenkind?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense to put the Boots of Elvenkind on the guy in full adamantine plate, who also has an umbrella that floats him off in the sky. Yes! Yes! This does actually make perfect sense, everybody. If not Boots of Spider Climb.
Boots of Spider Climb just like some fly to the ceiling and stand on it.
You cannot escape me! Pum, 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 pum.
Oh gosh.
No, if he has the Boots of Elvenkind, you don't hear anything as he's walking up.
No, I meant if he had Spider Climb, but...
Oh yeah, true.
That being said, my first inclination would be to actually give it to Sarah. I guess what's her goal with said boots, because there's the is our goal to make one person a dedicated scout, or is our goal to make our group stealth checks easier with the one person that's wearing heavy plate?
I'll say this, a dedicated scout doesn't seem to really work in this game, because if they get found out, then they get exposed.
Let's say if they get found.
I would argue we're better off getting an overall group stealth.
Yeah, I'd much rather not a natural one breaking our stealth rather than someone being able to scout out well.
You have had stealth missions before.
And we can always swap out the boots to someone else.
In the event that we do, or a dedicated scout would be advisable, then I suppose then we can say, "Hey, Sayer, then we need to borrow your boots."
Also, if that ever happens, can give the boots to Fran, who's stealthy, and if we go in the quiet, Baden can cast, or quiet and dark, Baden can cast Pass Without a Trace, get advantage because it's dark, and plus 10 on top of that.
Doran's good at stealth too, but I didn't take expertise in it where Fran might have.
So, you're not a good rogue if you're not good at stealth.
So, Captain Cookie, it seems like we have a list of missions, and ultimately we haven't really decided on one. But as Captain, you get to make the final decision. Which one of these would you like to investigate, or multiple ones?
Well, I have flagged the 3 that seemed the best in my mind with a thumbs up. I think escorting the group of pilgrims safely is something that, for some reason, that sounds more noble than someone who seeks passage to that place, which, I mean, it may be the same thing. Because we use our ship usually.
Mm-hmm.
The rescuing the lady from the ogres sounds like a great idea, except for that one time we tried to rescue someone from orcs, and it never ended.
Well, here's the. Well, we made a bunch of tactical mistakes in rescuing the lady from orcs.
Yeah.
But we did have fun
I-
destroying their front fort.
I hope we've learned quite a bit about that. But anyway,
The 2 I would like strongest is rescuing the lady and destroying the evil artifact.
Okay. Destroying the evil artifact also has the potential of a duplicate of Catch the legendary thief here that is seeking the company to recover the evil artifact. If they are indeed the same person.
Nice. That's cool.
So,
which in that case, we should actually talk to Manti first
yeah.
and find out about here. And then we can make the determination when we talk to here whether they're actually the same person. Because it's like,
Once we get there.
if we're considering that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to rescue the lady for what it's worth. But
Yeah.
Are
I
there
can
any
understand-
locations we don't want to go to? Do we want to move spheres? Are we okay with an inner sphere mission?
I'm fine with the
okay with
same
staying on
sphere.
sphere.
We don't have to travel every time.
That's true.
Mr. Quartermaster.
Yes, sir.
So I uploaded the most recent sheet of ours, which has our group wealth stored on the ship, and you've been looking at the ship inventory, obviously.
That's on the drive, right?
Yeah. What? Okay, so that extra gold and gems you acquired today,
Mm-hmm.
have you added that to the ship's inventory?
No.
Okay.
I just summed up the amount. That's all I did. It wasn't extra.
All right. Well, we'll need a better way to keep track of that document. Maybe using it on Drive
I'm in
instead.
favor of that. Google Docs is a lot more co-editable than Word.
Okay. I'll fix that up then.
Cool.
It's time for bed though, so I probably need to go.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
understandable.
All right, see ya.
Good night.
Have a good night.
Good night.
There's the locations. You can
Oh boy.
edit yours and map it.
Mutiny.
Okay.
I left off the Desert of Fire because you know that one.
Thank you. I think I lost one or two. Okay, those are the same ones. Right, okay, we know that one. Give me one moment. So there's stuff in Anther, apparently. Okay. That's great. So exploring something is unknown. Harry. Star. Alpina.
So there's a lot of info for you. Anything else?
That it is.
Or should we pick up here next week and let you guys have time to figure out where you want to go?
Let's worry about that over the week. We can talk about it.
Okay.
We can discuss
Alright.
it in the chat, I think. But
Yeah.
Alright, then we'll pick up next week discussing which mission to investigate.
Sounds good. We'll see you guys there.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
good night.